Right. One time when I was down at the Haven for Hope on Sunday morning, Mike Gonzalez of Cornerstone Church in San Antonio said, "Howard, why don't you drop by our sundown service Friday evening?" And 6 o'clock, and we have a sundown service and music and everything. And normally I'd go out to dinner or something, but that came Friday afternoon, and I didn't have any plans and so forth. So I thought to myself, well, I'll go down Haven for Hope and see what's happening. And I had never been in that homeless place before, but the other program place and the rehab place and the people that are on a 2-year program are in a separate section. But anyway, I went through there, a lot of people hanging out, and they had music and David was speaking. I went down and sat in the front row, and I thought, holy smoke, what is this all about? So anyway, afterward, I went up to David. I said, I don't know who you are, but I never heard preaching like this in my life.
Wow.
And so we talked and hit it off. And for several weeks, we went around San Antonio, the radio and the prison and different appearances. And then I said, David, you got to come over to Cleveland. I've got a harvest meeting coming up in Cleveland in June the third week. So anyway, we made arrangements there, and then got him back, and he showed up at the meeting, and we did the same thing in Cleveland with these appearances, City Mission and different rehabs and different areas of engagement. So then that worked out for a month, and we extended this airline return about 3 or 4 times, and the guy that picked up the ticket said, I've had it with this return thing. You're charging my account over what it should be. And I mean, the ticket was one thing, and by the time we got the rebookings, it was 3 or 4 times what, because he kept staying over, and there was a reason to stay over and to make appearances and to save souls. So anyway, that went over well in Cleveland, and so then later on we hooked up with different things. I forget whether we went back to San Antonio or what, but the point is, later on, Roy Fankhauser got involved, and we met him at the St. Malachi's breakfast down there on Saturday morning on 25th Street. And so Roy picked up on it in a heartbeat. And Roy said, yeah, count me in. And so we got associated, and Roy became more responsible with the whole thing. And then in the meantime, I had re-met my first wife in Cleveland, and her husband died and stuff. And so a year later, I think it was, we got remarried or something. And then later on, we moved to Florida. And Roy picked up the baton, and a few others, Eric and some others. And then David kept going, and Roy said, we got to move David to Cleveland. I said, oh boy, this ought to be beautiful. And so going from SoCal to Northeast Ohio. So anyway, Roy was in charge of that, and he pulled it off pretty well. But I was stepping out of the picture, and that was fine. But what we wanted to do was to continue the harvest work that we started 20, 30 years ago with the ragtag army and the lay workers and the little outreach ministries. And so David picked up that in spades with the rehab, the prisons, the jails, the missions, shelters, and everything. And so that was a big step forward. And then he moved lock, stock, and barrel to Cleveland and took to the whole thing like a duck to water. And from there on, it just kept moving. And whether it was the coronavirus or whatever, it didn't seem to bother all that much. He's worked with interdenominational churches, Catholics, Jewish. Recently, he just had a booking with third and fourth grade elementary school children and rehabs and different places like that. And then he's gotten some of the churches working together, which is not all that easy, as you might know. And they've got a September meeting coming up with a bunch of shelter people and inmates or whatever, and that's going to be at the Family Ministry Center down in Fulton. So the whole thing is gelling, and the Lord is using it, and His hand is on the whole thing with the donors and the just providing and opening the doors that need to be opened. And he's been to Akron and different places in the area, but I think he's setting the stage for something even bigger than the Cleveland area ministry. So we're just happy and moving forward.